Why, hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome to all of those joining me live. I have just lit a candle to make sure that we are shining extra good light here on today's readings. And I'm so excited for everyone who can join me live. I already see that Fluffy Rainbow's prescription, perhaps, RX, is celebrating her birthday today. So happy birthday! When we get to Gemini, I'll make sure to maybe even pull an extra card for you. So help me remember if I forget. But either way, I hope you have an excellent birthday. And I really appreciate you joining me on this, the day of your birth. If you don't know me already, I'm Katie, designer of Light from Lantern Knitting Patterns and the host of the Knit a Spell podcast. This is going to be your June 2025 Oracle reading for crafters. Before we jump into the cards, I just want to share a couple of patterns that I think you'll love. First of all, this guy right here. Ta-da! This is my Rustle and Rise Cowl, which just came out this week. It is super nice because it's all seasons. Not only is it nice and airy to wear, but also I made it out of Haiku Riley, which is this Cassell product, and it is a luxurious blend of alpaca, silk, and linen. So it's just got a great hand. It's super drapey. It has a bit of a sheen to it. It's comfortable enough to wear year round, and sometimes that's rare. So if you're looking for a fun little cowl to cast on this week, perhaps this one could make it into your queue. Available on Ravelry. Additionally, I have my Page of Pouches pattern right here, which is a free download, actually. So if you're interested in grabbing this pattern, it is in the description, and it has a really great, it's a really great pattern to not only use like scrap yarns for, but also if you are looking for a little project to practice color magic, this one's a really great one. I have it marketed as like a tarot bag because, as you might see here, I have the Stitchers Oracle deck inside of it. So, little spoiler alert there. And I used this super bright color. So this is made from leftover that I had. This is Fluffy Fingering by UU Yarns, one of my favorites. And it's in the citrus pop color, which is like electric and full of energy. And when I put tarot decks in here, I know they're going to be charged up simply because of this color. So if you've never knit using color magic before, this is a great little project to give it a go, see if it's for you, because it's very like low stakes. And even if you're not into like the magical element, this is a really handy pattern to carry all sorts of things in. So like if you're traveling, it's great for holding cords because of the elastic, grippy nature of the ribbing, and all sorts of little things. So if you have made one of these before, I would love to hear about it. Let me know in the comments whether you're here live or you are watching later. And if you are here watching live, just a reminder that if you are a subscriber, you could be chatting with me right now. If you're not currently a subscriber, all you have to do is subscribe right now. There's a link in the description. And then after a minute, it will all open up and you'll be able to chat with us. So if that is interesting to you, I would love to hear from you. Feel free to drop any questions you might have, your thoughts and feelings on what you get for your sign. And if you want to drop in what your sign is or your signs, we'd love to see you. I personally am a Virgo moon, Virgo sun, and Cancer rising. So lots of mud over here, I guess. All right. So let's, without further ado, get into it. So, like I said, I'm using the Stitchers Oracle deck today for our reading. And this is a really fun deck. Even though it's no longer being printed, it's still available out there. If you find that you have the will to find it, I think it will find a way into your hands. This was originally created by Kiana Nelson, and it's Stitch Together Studio, which was her brand. And I think you can still follow her on Instagram. So let me know. All right. So now let me grab out our cards here. Ta-da, and give them a nice shuffle. And as always, we are going to start with Aries, which already jumped out. So you get that one. I'm going to shuffle the rest. Ooh, I don't know if you can hear that ASMR shuffle, but that's like one of my favorite parts about this. All right, give them a couple more. All right, wake up cards. Let's do this. Starting with the jumper that we had for Aries, which is the messy, tangled situation here. So for you, Aries, this could be a great message for you to just jump into a new project. We don't always have to have everything organized. If there's something that strikes your whim or your fancy, this could be a sign to not overthink it and just go for it, which, I mean, this is a great Aries card, I think. Or this also could say, perhaps there is a ball of yarn in your stash that is in a bit of a pickle. It could be a nice meditative experience to take some time to unknot it. When I worked at a yarn store, I had specific customers who loved to undo other people's messy skeins that got all crazy. So maybe you should embrace some of that energy and use it as a way to not only untangle the ball of yarn, but you could use that symbolically if you have like a problem or a trouble that you're kind of ruminating over this month. This could be the time where you figure out solutions as you're untangling that yarn. All right, next up we have Taurus. And for Taurus, we have the needle with the thread being snapped in the middle. Not everything goes as planned, Taurus. And that's okay. We just left your season. We're in Gemini season. So maybe you're not feeling as pretty or pampered as you did last month when it was your time to shine. But that doesn't mean that this is a bad thing. You could be finding solutions to things that are seemingly broken this month. So maybe as you are taking a little bit of time, take a little bit of extra patience with any projects that you're working on. This could be a great sign to say, like, maybe I will hand wind my yarn this month because if I take time to do that, I could see perhaps a knot or an imperfection in the yarn before I start the project because sometimes coming across those later is a real bummer and it kind of demotivates you a little bit because you have to stop the momentum, fix it. There's extra tails to weave in perhaps. And you might be able to mitigate that with a little bit of forward thinking here. Additionally, maybe this is a sign to learn new ways to join two pieces of yarn together. There's lots of fun ways to do it. There's the Russian join. There's different ones. I mean, I can't remember maybe all of the names. One where you kind of thread one end into the other end and use it as like a tube. It was really great for slippery yarns. Use a tapestry needle actually to do that one. Or the spit splice, which probably has a better name, but this is the only always the name that I think of when I come to it. And that's when you have like a wool that isn't a superwash that can be felted together just by using like a little bit of perhaps hot water so you don't have to use your own spit. And then using the friction of your hands to join the two sides together. This could also be a great magical act if you want to join two intentions into one project. It's also really nice if you're doing like different colors in a project that are all a natural yarn that you could do this on because it eliminates ends to weave in later. And who doesn't love that? All right, next up we have Gemini. Happy birthday, Gemini. Oh, okay. Interesting. Here, take a look at this. Very Gemini here. We have two different colors, two different tapestry needles or sewing needles here. So this could be a great sign to embrace your duality this month and during the rest of your time. You could have your cake and eat it too. I mean, it is your birthday after all. So if you feel like you want to start two projects, start two projects. If you feel the whim overcome and you're like, man, I got to finish everything in my stash, do it. Sky's the limits. You can do anything you want this month, especially if it has to do with finishing or beginning. I feel like you could get a lot of extra energy with these dualities here. Also, if you are doing a color work project, This could be a very nice thing to appease your inner dualities where it's like maybe it's a light color and a dark color. Maybe it's two very similar colors and the contrast is more subtle, but that is a great way to join two complementary wishes into a project. So it doesn't have to be like so extreme. They can be more aligned, and that's a fun way to do that. Uh, let's draw one extra card for our friend who it is her birthday. Her, I'm just assuming her, I should not be. Them, you, fluffy rainbows. This one is for you. Ooh. I see these two knots, which again is very complimentary to this one for Geminis overall. So this could be two wishes. So this even looks like the method that I was talking about with joining the yarns with two knots. So if you have some wishes that you want this month, this year to come true, we're almost in the middle of the year. That's a great another liminal time to make wishes, to be extra intentional. Who's to say that you couldn't have whatever you want? So maybe you're going to a yarn store today and you're thinking, ooh, should I treat myself with this or this? I mean, maybe both. Maybe you mentioned it's your birthday and somebody wants to give you a little extra something. Don't be afraid to flaunt your amazingness. It is your birthday after all. It only comes around one day a year. And so why not embrace it and see how people want to gift things to you as you would probably gift things to them as well. Happy birthday. All right, next up, we have Cancer. Ooh, I first of all love these beautiful little scissors. But Cancer, who's saying that you can't if you're feeling it? So, okay, two different things I'm feeling here now. Either you can choose to cut ties with a project that is no longer resonating with you. Maybe there's that one stinker project that you've just had like hanging over your head for so long. It's giving you troubles. The yarn's not good. Don't understand the pattern. You're just not even enjoying the whole process of making it. You can choose this month to just cut ties. Just pull it all out. The yarn will be happy to be something else. And maybe in the future, the pattern will be better. Like it will align better with your vibe. I've certainly had those things happen before where it's like this pattern might be beyond my skill level or just like not that interesting to me right now. And then you come back in a year or two and it's like, oh, this is the perfect match. So this could be a great sign to don't waste your time on things that you aren't enjoying doing. But also, conversely, and maybe similarly, maybe this is a great sign for you to finish a project that has been in there. So, whether you're finishing it because you're like, I'm done with this, it's out of here, or you just dedicate the time to actually finishing it, f- concentrate on the finishing aspect. Wrap things up, make space for new things, because when we do that, maybe next month will be a great opportunity to start a new thing. And it'll be guilt free because you'll have all the space in your brain to accommodate a new project. I'm going to have a quick sip here of some water. All right. Now we're going to go into Leo. If I have any Leos in the house, let me know. Ooh, okay. Oh, is it this way? Is it this way? It's probably this way. Okay. So this kind of looks like a drop stitch. Leo, my fire friend, this could be a good sign for you to take an extra moment with your crafting this month to ensure that we're not making rookie mistakes. Now, there's nothing wrong with rookie mistakes. This is how we learn. Sometimes we're excited. I still drop stitches on occasion, and then I look back and I'm like, how did that even happen? Where did it come from? So, if you feel your crafter's intuition this month, this could be a good month to acknowledge that. So sometimes you're going along and you're like, this doesn't feel quite right. Like maybe the size isn't turning out quite like I wanted to. Instead of going for like an extra 4 inches into the project before you realize, like, oh, that thought that I had initially was right, or maybe I don't like this color that it's in, or the next color that I chose. This is a good month to develop and honor that intuition. Now, that being said, this could also be an interesting month to take a little bit of a chance. Not every dropped stitch is done unintentionally. I had a shawl that I made for a subscription box yarn company a bunch of years ago where dropped stitches was actually part of the design. Actually, there was two of them that I did that. I really like dropped stitches as part of the design because it's fun and easy way to add a line of looser stitches, but it's also like a great way to embrace something that normally would freak you out, right? Like normally we don't intend to have this extra work to do with picking up the stitches, but if we do it intentionally, it's really fun to see how it affects the fabric and how you can use that skill for you instead of having it work against you. So, whether you're being a little adventurous or you're just taking a little bit of extra time to check out your project as you're making it, these are good energies for you this month, Leo. And next we have Virgo. For my fellow Virgo friends, hi, how are we doing? Oh, okay. So this is some embroidery floss, which for someone who hates hand sewing, I adore needlework like embroidery and cross stitch. Although I wasn't wild about needlepoint, although it is stunning. And if you're a needle pointer, I salute you. It is an amazing piece of work that you're already doing over an amazing piece of work. So good for you. But this could be a nice sign of how can I embellish something this month? So maybe you have a finished project laying around, like a little blankie that you made for your dog, or a special little small human, or a large human, could be a big size. Maybe you want to embroider or duplicate stitch their initials on there. Or if you want to make it a little more magical, maybe you want to design a little sigil and then put that on there somewhere. I have a hat that I made that is coming out soon. It was in the Skacel Magalog last fall, and I'm about to republish it probably this month, so stay tuned, where it has a protection sigil that's duplicate stitched onto the brim of the hat. So this could be a really great opportunity to add a little extra layer of magic to your projects by whether it's, the sigil put on the outside or maybe it's hidden on the inside, so it's just for you. Either way, see where you can add a little bit of extra beauty. Maybe it's just like adding some buttons. It doesn't have to be literally embroidery floss that we're using. It could be anything that is being added on as a little bit of an extra piece of flair. Who doesn't love an extra piece of flair? And if you're like me, a Virgo who is quite organized, perhaps you go through your stash and see again, do you have a needle related craft that this might be the perfect month to pull out and travel along with? Quite often, at least embroidery projects, they're kind of smaller. Maybe this is a good thing to take with you on a trip that you're doing this month. See where you can have a little bit of extra fun and maybe widen your crafting horizon this month. All right, Libra, for you. Oh, we have the crochet hook pulling through a bit of yarn. Ooh, Libra, are we putting a new crochet project together? Are we finishing a crochet project? Maybe we're just learning how to crochet this month. Either way, this could be a really great month to learn a new skill. So I often find, well, I literally just found that even if crochet isn't your main skill, it can come in handy with other crafts. I just used a crochet hook with the Addy Click crochet set. So if you have like the regular tip set, it comes with the cords and the knitting needle tips. But if you had the Click crochet set, they are like long hooks that you can use those cords with too. And what I did was I used one of those hooks to pick up stitches around a cardigan that I was going to then knit from. But it's a beautiful relationship between these two products because you can go from picking up the stitches and then just twist that tip off, put your knitting tips on there, and start the knitting process without skipping a beat. So sometimes taking in a little bit of extra time to just learn a little bit of a new skill, whether that's crochet or something complementary to your main craft, could add a lot of freedom. It was so much faster than using the knitting needle to do that project. Even though I don't really crochet generally, it was awesome. So maybe try expanding your horizons just a little bit this month, Libra, and seeing how that can improve your main craft. Next up, Scorpio. Mm, okay. We're buttoning up projects, Scorpio. So whether this is like literally we're adding buttons to a project, which is quite often helpful in the finishing process, or we're just using this symbolically to go through some of those works in progress. If you're like me, you might have several that are like very close to being finished anyway. So why don't we just give them the 5, 10, half hour it needs to just weave in those ends and then block it and get it out of our hair, or like just do the seaming and the collar for that cardigan we promised our mom 10 years ago. Speaking from personal experience. Button something up this month. We're about to go into the second half of the year. You might as well do a little bit of like spring cleaning by energizing your crafting energy, taking some things off of your plate again so that you can go back into the second half with brand new energy. You can use that motivation to push you right into new projects that maybe wouldn't be getting the attention otherwise, or have the space available to be started in the first place, because you have all these old ones stuck in your brain and using your needles and all the tools that you would need for the new ones. So take a little time and bask in the amazingness of finishing something, because starting is great, but the finishing is amazing. And don't we really intend to finish most of the projects that we start? So honor that. All right, Sagittarius, next for you, ooh, we have the granny square. All right. So this granny square, I feel like, is a very foundational energy. Maybe this month, Sagittarius, we're just doing a basic project. Make it easy. Maybe you've been in a rut, or you have a lot of difficult projects on the needles, on the loom, in the works right now, and you just want something easy. I, again, not as necessarily a crocheter myself, find that the granny square is a excellent beginner friendly or advanced motivator of a project to work on. Whether you're making a bunch of little ones, they could just be like a coaster or a bunch of coasters that you end up coming back to and seaming together like into a blanket or into like a cardigan. I've seen some great cardigans not initially, lately, that have been like a mix of crochet pieces and then knit around the body, which is so fun. Again, putting those crafts together. Oh, Marilyn, hello. Good morning. Ah, yes. Okay. You can go back to the beginning when we're done here and you'll be able to get everything. But if you have any questions, I'd be happy to go back. So let me know. And at the end, I can come and grab you. So maybe get back to basics here, Sagittarius. Again, if this is like maybe you've been on a break from your craft for a while, going back to a basic technique that kind of reminds you how good you are at it, how you can be very comfortable with it, and it doesn't have to be complicated, is really great. And it can boost you into doing maybe something more difficult or getting back into the swing of things if you have stuff in progress already. So just use it as a bit of a spark to reignite that feeling. Okay, next we have Capricorn. And for Capricorn, ooh, we have all sorts of tools. Okay, Capricorn, what kind of crafting do you want to do this month? It seems like you have all the options. You really can't make a bad choice. You just actually have to make a choice. So, whether that is crochet, you already do crochet and you're just going to start a project or finish one or work on one you have already in progress, or maybe you're picking up a new project, picking up a new skill. All of these are blessings upon you, I see. Use the longer days, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere, to invest your time, even if it's just a little bit of time every day or whenever you have the time, into building those skills. Sometimes, like I said, you don't know that you could love a skill or a new hobby till you try it out a little bit. Or you learn you hate it, in which case that is also something great to learn. You don't have to worry about, "Oh, maybe I'll love crochet or knitting," and then you try it and you're like, no, I didn't." So back to the pottery wheel or whatever that may be. All things are learning. So this is not gonna be a waste of time. You're gonna gain great insight on what you really enjoy doing, what you may future enjoy doing, and what you don't have to bother thinking about anymore. I would love to know what that might be. So if you're listening now or later, leave a comment, Capricorn. Okay, Aquarius, what do we have for you, Rebel? Ooh, we have the knitting needle. Also, why I don't know why this like the black needles are like, whoa, whoa. You don't usually see black needles, although there was a ebony wood needle from Lantern Moon. Oh, Lantern Moon. Like back in the day. I'm not sure that company is still around. You can correct me in the comments if you know. And they had a set of like just the most luxurious polished wooden needles that were this really dark color. And so maybe maybe this is a sign to go out of your comfort zone a little bit in whatever your crafting might be, or to treat yourself to like one or two extra luxurious tools in your selected craft. I know. I always felt like these were so fancy, like the Rolls Royce of needles, which is funny because I also had signature needles, which I felt like were the like top echelon or whatever. But something about the wood, the naturalness, it was just so beautiful. So maybe if you have like a precious tool that you don't normally use, or a luxury yarn that you're waiting for like that special project, this could be the month to just, you know what, treat yourself. It's not doing anybody any good just hanging out. It's like having that fine china that you never use. Why not use it? It doesn't have to be a special project because it will become a special project just because you love the tool or the material that you are just finding so luxurious and luxe and special in whatever way that specialness might be. Maybe it was just like a gift. It doesn't have to be like high priced anything necessarily. It could be something that a friend of yours spun for you or dyed for you. You just have been waiting for that special occasion. Again, find the special occasion. Maybe it's Tuesday. Tuesday is a special occasion day because you said it is. Most holidays are just holidays because they say they're a holiday. So make your own holiday this month. And maybe every day, that same day, next year could also be your like indulge day. And that is your new tradition. Let me know if you end up doing that. I would love to maybe get on board with that. I'm not an Aquarian, but I do have a lot of stuff that maybe I need an excuse to use. Okay, and now wrapping things up, we have Pisces. Oh, and for Pisces, we have the thimble. How cute is this? Oh, you might be feeling a little sensitive, Pisces, which maybe isn't surprising, but I think if you treat yourself with a little bit of extra self care this month, you could see some nice results. Like maybe if you're going to your knitting group, and maybe if certain things are being said, just remember you can always leave. Like, it's not necessarily personal. And you are actually more protected than you might think. So, if you're feeling a little bit of extra tenderness around this time, you know what? Embrace it. Maybe have like an amazing cleansing bath. Maybe you finish a project that you're kind of like on the fence of. Give it an amazing cleansing bath. Like you can use that blocking power to ignite these soft cleansing feelings. Because even though Water is an emotional sign. It's also extremely powerful. So we can use it to be any level of the spectrum in terms of power. A gentle wash or a wave that cleanses everything in its path. So it's up to you, of course, how you want to use this watery energy. But just remember, give yourself a little bit of grace this month, even if it's just like, oh, you look down and this project that you're working on is suddenly like not working out. It's okay. Maybe put that project in timeout this month. Work on something else. You are in control. You are protected. Okay. Well, that is everything that we have here. If anyone who is here live has any questions or comments, you can feel free to leave them here and I will address them before we go. And just a reminder, if you loved this reading, especially live, I love doing them live and I love having you all comment. All you have to do is subscribe. It takes 1 minute to be able to unlock the chat and chat with me and everyone else. And if you are already a subscriber, but you're like, man, I want to know more. Like, what's Katie up to? And what are some great deals and things? And also, how can I get this page of pouches pattern? Well, you can just sign up for my newsletter. It's linked below. It's free, takes a minute. You'll get this pattern right to your door. And anytime I'm running a discount, like on a brand new pattern, you will be the first to know. You'll also get a reminder of anything else that is coming through, like events that I might be doing or other fun stuff, upcoming classes. You'll be the first to know. And I would love to chat with you. It's a fun way to keep in touch. And I don't send them super often. So you don't have to be like feeling like you're going to get overwhelmed. So, all right, let me see. Oh, thank you for all the compliments. So very nice of you. I appreciate it. Um, yes, and very, very happy birthday energy to Fluffy Rainbow. I'm inviting you to blow out this candle and make a wish. It's magic, by the way. It is magic. So I will keep it for you. I will blow it out in your honor when we're done so that hopefully you get your wish answered in the best way possible. And if there's nothing else, I will join you next time. And if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to comment on all of these things. I will reply to them. So don't worry. I run everything. So it's not like my team. I mean, my team might be the dog, but she's not as good as typing as you might think. So awesome. Well, thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Fluffy Rainbows. Thank you, everyone, for joining me live. I look forward to seeing you again next month, and I will see you then. Merry Make.